You have a unit circle. You guys have seen this 100 times already. And we've talked about this a lot. We're not going to talk again about how to fill in the degrees all the way around the circle. Instead, what we're going to do is just focus today on how to find the x-coordinate and the y-coordinate of any point around the circle. And we've already talked about this a lot, so it's probably getting to be old news to all of you. So let's say we're right here. Let's just say it's 50 degrees. Actually, I'm going to change my mind. It's not 50 degrees. I'm going to say that it's 70 degrees. This is 70 degrees. We're at 70 degrees, and my question to you is, where are you in terms of your x position and your y position? So remember, this is the
Y. That's the origin.
This is the origin, and it is the point 0, 0. So if you are right here at 70 degrees, and I want to know where are you, you have to figure out how far over are you and how far up are you. We talked about all the math behind that already, but if you want to find out how far over you are, in other words, when I'm asking for how far over are you, is that a horizontal distance or a vertical distance?
Horizontal.
It is a horizontal distance. So when I'm asking you to find how far over are you, I am asking you to find a horizontal distance, which you find by doing what? Cosine. So, to figure out the x and the y at 70 degrees, you type into your calculators cosine 70. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Comma. What if I want to know how far up are you? We're going to do that. By the way, up means what? Vertical. So if I want your vertical distance, I am asking for you to find a y distance, which is the sine. Yes, Oren? Yeah, it is kind of slope, except that slope is vertical over horizontal. Yeah. Sine, you do sine of 70. By the way, you need to make sure that your calculators are in degree mode. Yeah. So type in cos 70, tell me what you get. By the way, you're going to get an awful decimal, and you do not need to give me a fraction. What do you get? 0.242 is what I heard. Okay, 0.342 is what I heard. What about the y value, the sine?
939.
Just put 9.94. Oh,
939.
You should have did 4.
3 numbers after the decimal is what I prefer. Okay, so
Well, that's
that means this. It means you are over 0.342. It means that you are up 0.939. So I'm going to label this 0.342, and I'm going to label this 0.393. Yes? Are you okay with this?
yes.
All right. But when I did this, I was assuming that the radius of this circle was 1.
1.
What if the radius is not 1?
You multiply by the number.
Excellent. You're just going to take your answer and you're going to multiply it by the radius. So knowing that, I would like you to do this. I'm going to give you a different circle. I'm not going to draw it larger, but you're going to assume that it is larger. And I'm going to tell you that now the radius of the circle is 12. The radius of the circle, I'm going to write R equals 12. The radius is 12, and I want you to tell me what is your horizontal position and your vertical position when you are at 100 and, let's do 113 degrees. Tell me your horizontal position and your vertical position at 113 degrees. Don't say it out loud. Give yourself a chance to find both answers. Yes. Go ahead.
For the cosine has negative 0.391.
Negative 0.391.
For cosine has 0.921.
0.921. Do you agree? You do not agree. Are you in degree mode?
Yes.
Yeah, you have multiple. It's negative
Okay.
4.6
Oh,
692.
okay, never mind.
Radius is 12, so make sure that you're multiplying your radius or whatever your answer by 12. I should have known that by your answer was awkward. So yes, can you tell me, Chance, the real answer?
Negative 4.692.
692, okay.
And 11.046.
11.046. Yes? Do you guys agree with that?
No, where did two come in? It should be
It's because
0.688.
I did negative 0.391 instead of just 0.39.
Yeah, Chance.
Why?
But she said there had to be 3 places.
Why?
688.
Does that look better?
Yeah.
This one's right though, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure what happened.
I rounded up. I
That was
did
kind
3
of
places.
an awkward
'cause it was-
rounding.
Look.
I will look later. Okay, so, are you okay with this?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Now, we are gonna talk about applying this now, because how often in your life are you just looking at a circle? You're not, you're usually applying it to something. So there's gonna be a lot of problems today that we're gonna talk about that have to do with a Ferris wheel. You're on a Ferris wheel. So here's a Ferris wheel. And even though it's a Ferris wheel, you still assume that this is 0 degrees and you're rotating around the Ferris wheel. And I will say to you, what is your horizontal position at 50 degrees? What are you going to do? Horizontal position at 50 degrees. You're going to take cosine 50, but then you have to make sure that you multiply your answer by the radius. Because never is the radius of a Ferris wheel going to be exactly 1 meter or 1 whatever. It's always going to be something different. So you need to make sure that you are multiplying your answers by the radius. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so in your notes, this is what I would like you to do. Vertical distance. Vertical distance can be found by finding the vertical distance means you are finding the what? Sine. Write sine down. Horizontal distance can be found by finding the
Cosine.
cosine. Now, this part right here is always a little bit confusing for students because it changes it up a little bit. And it's not that it's confusing, it's just that you have to be paying very close attention to the wording, because this wording says to find the distance from the horizontal axis. So watch what that means. This is the horizontal axis, correct?
Correct.
Because it's going left and right.
Yeah.
But if I want to know how far away am I from the horizontal axis, let's say I'm up here. How far away am I from this axis? Well, I am this far away. Would you agree? What kind of a distance is that?
Vertical.
That is a vertical distance. So this is the tricky part. You see the word horizontal, but you're not finding a horizontal distance. You're actually finding a vertical distance. So you must pay careful attention to the wording. This will catch a lot of people every single time, okay? So you have to be paying attention to the wording. So when it says to find the distance from the horizontal, you are actually going to do what? Sine. And you may want to put a little note here to yourself that this is actually vertical. And to find the distance from the vertical axis, well, here's the vertical axis. And if you are over here and you want to know how far are you from the vertical axis, you are looking for this distance, which is a back and forth, not an up and down distance, which means you are actually finding a horizontal distance, which is actually cosine. I'm going to put a little note here too that this is actually horizontal. All right, you can stop.